All right, guys, how everybody doing? We just got through watching the first two episodes of the new Daredevil Born Again. We tried to do a great accomplishment, which was watch every single Daredevil up to this point. We kind of failed with that, but we're not going to not finish up the rest of the series. Some of us are watching The Defenders right now to get caught up to season three. But we went ahead and started watching the new thing since they did a time jump of about 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, in between this Daredevil and the Netflix series. So here we go, guys. Let's see what everybody thought about the first couple of episodes of Born Again. Well, I can tell you this right here just by looking at the little symbols. Well, there's only one person with symbols that they put next to their name. Brandi was not particularly happy. She's probably going to give it to us. But yeah, episodes 1 and 2 will get everybody's like just quick reactions. We all four just like got through watching it before we recorded. We'll just go around in order. Matt, what did you think? First two episodes.
I noticed a huge like tonal change in how the show shot because during the Netflix series most of it was shot at night, and this one most of it was shot during the day. So it's a different like perspective on the city and stuff like that. Um, I, I don't know. I honestly I didn't care too much for these first two episodes. Um, yeah, it was just like characters seemed like a parody of themselves, kind of to me in a way. But yeah, I mean, it was all right, but I wasn't blown away or anything by these first two.
I understand. I understand. I definitely wasn't blown away either. I'm still kind of figuring out everything here. But Adelia,
I thought that the characters were in some interesting places. The stuff with Fisk and his wife is really interesting to me. Like Vanessa cheated on him. I never thought that that would be something that would happen, and um, I'm real curious how long it's going to be before he breaks his promise to her not to kill the guy that she cheated on him with. But the first 15 minutes of episode 1 made me so angry that I considered turning it off for a minute. I'm glad I didn't. I think that the beginning of this, we'll get into this more, but they sort of had to rewrite the beginning of this entire season when they changed the creative direction. And I think it's going to get stronger as the season goes on. But yeah, I wasn't 100% blown away by these two episodes either.
Brandi.
I was not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Not happy what they did with the
Yeah,
writing of the show. I was not
I know.
happy.
I know why you're not happy, and Adelia, I know why she was mad and everything in the first few minutes there. But yeah, is that it? You're just not happy.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I was
Uh,
much more explosive earlier. Like if you would have heard me.
I mean, no, it's all right to be explosive on stuff like that. I don't particularly have as much of an issue with what happened to Foggy. Okay, we can go ahead and talk about it right now. The whole Foggy issue of getting taken out pretty much at the very beginning of the first episode. I don't particularly hate that. I kind of thought that was all right. But now the problem to me comes in where, and Brandi said this before we ever started recording, and I kind of agree with it. The Foggy thing can get you upset, can get you down, can get you sad, and all that good stuff. And that's fine to me. Like, all right, cool. We got an explosive thing you didn't really think was going to happen. It happens. But my problem with that was you also took the other character out that people were kind of excited to see come back. Now, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
she's not dead, but like Karen's kind of out of the picture because she doesn't even like live in the same area anymore. She's not there.
Yeah,
She's gone.
they were promoting. I seen them promoting the three of them, and then the other two aren't in it. They kill off Foggy. I'm sorry if this is the spoiler. Oh, they kill
I
off
mean, you're
Foggy, and then
watching this. You're
Karen's not
obviously
there.
it's spoilered. Obviously, it's going to be
But like,
spoilers on the show.
but none of them are. They're not there. Like that's the core. You took one person out of the core, and I'm pissed because I like them all three together. And they were, the three of them, Paige, Murdoch, Nelson.
Yeah, like I said, I'm okay with doing the shocking, moment a character gets taken out like Foggy or whatever. But, like I said, I just don't like the fact you took both.
Yeah.
One's out of the picture because of where they live, and the other one is like out of the picture because they're dead now.
Well,
Like I
can they
said,
do an Elektra thing where they bring them back?
I mean,
hey.
I'm gonna guess that that's not happening.
No crap.
No,
Sorry.
he dead as
I
hell.
I think that there's a possibility that Karen comes back later in the
Right.
season.
Because she
But
can.
because she can, but like Foggy is his best friend, and I understand that they wanted to do something to like be earth altering for Matt, and if you're gonna kill either Foggy or Karen, it's gonna be Foggy that's gonna upset Matt more. But I don't like a few things about that scene. I don't. I first off, I don't mind the shocking death. There's been shocking deaths in the original Daredevil before that I haven't liked, but like this one just seems like why do you have to show us it happening? Why can't we just pick up and we learn that Foggy died? Like that I would have been better for me. Secondly, I don't like that Matt then throws Bullseye off the roof and tries to kill him because that like goes against Matt's
Who
whole
he is,
like
yeah.
core of who he
Yeah,
is.
because even when they killed Elektra, he didn't do anything. He didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I know that Foggy is like pretty much like the only family he had left, Foggy and Karen, but more so Foggy because they'd known each other longer. But I just don't see him like wanting to kill Bullseye because of that. Like he's so staunchly about not killing someone
Yeah.
when he's Daredevil in the Netflix series that it gets him really hurt sometimes because he won't kill someone. And then Foggy dies and then he just throws him off the roof. Like I didn't like that part at all.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's because one of my biggest problems with these two episodes, and we'll just go ahead and talk about them together. We'll just, like no need to do like one section for one episode because technically they released these at the same time, so there was kind of like
Yeah.
one episode. So my whole thing is that these two episodes felt rushed.
Yeah.
Okay, like a little bit because like I can see something happening to Foggy. Daredevil's got to deal with some stuff, right? And maybe like he's at that borderline where you see the crisis inside of himself, where you take a little bit of time with that, where he's like really struggling because like his best friend, family, like you said, basically dies. He's out of the picture, and he's like struggling with the whole like should I kill or whatever. It was just real super fast. They jump to Foggy's dead. He catches up with Bullseye and just starts, like you said, throws his ass off a roof and all that kind of stuff. And it was just like, that's my biggest problem with these two episodes, though. It doesn't have, and it may be because they had to like reshoot some stuff because they wanted to change the whole idea on what they were doing here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was like pure out garbage crap. I didn't think it was like that bad. But yeah, I do think a lot of things were kind of like a little bit out of place, a little bit different, and it felt kind of like weird from watching. And maybe this would be different for a fan that didn't try to do what we just tried to do, where we watched all of season 2 into the Defenders, trying to get to like season 3. But like they watched those years ago, we watched those fresh, so like we can tell these things. So like if you're a fan that watched the original series on Netflix and then you started watching this series, you may not feel that as much as we did because we did like pretty much a marathon of trying to like catch up with the whole Daredevil series because we were excited about this one.
The
And
fighting
that's
doesn't even feel the same.
no,
No.
yeah, that's what I was about to
The
say too.
fighting
And there
with
wasn't a lot. There wasn't a
Mhm.
lot of that, right?
There
There was a
wasn't,
couple
no.
of yeah, and there's a couple of shots on here. I was like, are they trying to be
Well,
Spider-Man for a second?
the fighting with Bullseye, whatever his name is, it
And
just
the music didn't fit to me. A lot of the music that they were playing throughout the episodes didn't fit to
mhm.
me. Like it was just
Yeah,
to
I didn't
move
feel
along
that
the
as much,
pace.
but I can understand what you're trying to say if they changed some of that. But like I said, it felt like during one scene like where he's like doing the whole chase against a bullseye, and another scene like it almost felt like he was Spider-Man to a certain point because he's using that
Yeah.
tool that he's got. He's like swinging around, town or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was like,
yeah, it's like, bro, like what and to be honest with you, I thought it was funny
the
because they actually
grappling hook,
mentioned
right?
one
Yeah.
of the things that like happened was Fisk at one point. And sorry if you hear any thunder or whatever in the background. I got some storms coming through, so if I get blacked out, you know why. But the thing about it is like Fisk even mentioned Spider-Man
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in like this thing, which I thought was okay, right? But my problem with this whole thing, like I said, is it's kind of rushed. The whole bullseye thing was super rushed. Pretty much beginning of the episode, we get the foggy death, which was caused by bullseye. Daredevil catches up with him, beats his ass, throws his ass off a roof, pretty much to kill him. Then we jump right into the Fist stuff, and it was like, to me, that was even rushed. Like he's all of a sudden, like I think maybe it would have been cool if we could have saw maybe not the whole season, but maybe a decent part of the season where Fisk is like going up trying to be governor, or not
Yeah.
governor, but mayor. But
Yeah.
like, that could have been some interesting story that you could have told, but it was like really fast how it happens.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, all of a
And-
sudden like he announces he's going to run for mayor, and then he's mayor. Like the
And
only
Actually,
thing,
one
Yeah.
debate.
right? And my only thing, like I will say, that felt completely like the old Netflix Daredevil was the sit down scene with him, with Matt, with Daredevil and Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good dialogue. Them two characters sitting across from each other at that table, going the back and forth, felt like the Netflix series that we've been watching. That part felt like that, but I do agree with most of you guys. Like it didn't 100% feel like that was that one section, and then the rest of it, like I said, felt like it was like, well, we got to get Fist to be mayor because we got to finish up the rest of the story. Now, how many episodes? Because Adelia, usually you know this. How many episodes is this new Daredevil supposed to be?
There's 9 episodes in the first season.
And that's my thing, man. Sometimes it's like I think you can do 8 or 9 episode shows. Like, Game of Thrones, they do like 10. That's still pretty short, right? Comparative to like a lot of things.
Mhm.
But they feel like they don't have to rush everything
Yeah.
when it comes to like the series and doing things. Even though they're only doing half of old school television, it just feels like Disney like has that issue, and I brought it
Less
up
than them.
before, of like trying to like do these shows, but then trying to put too much in them. No one, and they know they're only going to do so many episodes, and it just feels like we got to get Fist to be mayor because we got to get to the story that we want to tell, kind of situation. And it's like, man, I really wish the writers and everybody else had time to cook. Had time
Yeah.
to do the thing, set it up correctly, and all that. And I just don't feel like they were given the time. And I don't want to bash anybody. I thought the actors and stuff was done pretty well. Although I will say the newer characters, like and maybe in season 3, some of these characters was in Daredevil and everything else. So obviously there wasn't a lot of setup for some of these characters that are just placed in here, like Ben's daughter and stuff like that being in here.
Ben's niece.
Ben's niece. And then we also had, I think, like the lady that Daredevil was with. I'm pretty sure that probably happened at some point in season 3, I'm guessing. Like
Heather
that he
Glenn?
meets.
No, I'm fairly certain that's new for this season.
Yeah.
Right.
That
So
just
like
happened.
right. So like this whole thing, like that even felt rushed, right? We had a whole couple of seasons of Daredevil falling in love possibly with Karen, and that didn't work out. He even had some like love interest with the night nurse and stuff, but like that stuff took a little bit of time, took a couple of episodes, did a little story for it. I just didn't feel like I didn't get enough for that kind of stuff. It was just like, okay, Matt Murdock's like hanging out with this chick now, and it looks like they're getting on. They're talking about their fantasy worlds and everything all of a sudden, and it's like,
he's the girl, the one he works with set him up.
Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, there wasn't a lot of things, but it was a setup. They met, and then all of a sudden they hot and heavy
No,
for each other.
The stuff with the BB report, I was confused because they just kept doing it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It just didn't fit right, and then you don't find out until the second episode. And I'm like, because I was so confused. I'm like, what is this that they keep cutting back to? It just seems weird. Like, what is this? And they had no explanation for it, and I thought that was stupid. Introduce the character, and then we see what it is, and then it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also felt like that about the part where, well, first of all, I've never seen anybody so hyped up for a mayor. All these people are running around, but they had fist clothing.
We
I
don't do that
know.
here.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, this is way too much for a mayor, for the city
Yeah.
to be like that.
There's
But
a big hole out of nowhere in the middle of
that's
the
what I'm
road
saying.
in like one
Yeah.
scene, and he gets out and does that. I get the people that are surrounding him though, being like kind of happy, like somebody's actually doing some shit. Maybe the same thing happens in New York, but I felt like at that moment they were in California because they just had the fires, and a lot of the talk was is like all this red tape and stuff you got to go through. It's going to
Yeah.
take these people a very long time to be able to like rebuild their homes and stuff, and that was a big issue with that. And it's almost like they took that to a certain point. I know this was filmed before any of that happened, but it was like, oh man, the red tape. What kind of red tape, New York, do you have that's stopping you from fixing a hole in the middle of the road? For God's
And I was
sakes, what the hell's
laughing
going
about
on there?
the big freaking screens in Times Square during New Year's Eve. Like, no way, you're not you're
Yeah.
not overtaking every single screen in Times Square to make an announcement on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Hell
the scene
no.
with the hole felt really like out of place to me. I was like,
I
It did.
get the point they were doing.
Right
Like,
in
I'm
the
not
middle
hating
of
on
the
that
thing,
completely
like,
because I do understand like people have issues, and then you have a person that's coming in, they're trying to be mayor or whatever, right? And they're like, "We're gonna fix this," and they're standing there getting a photo op and everything else, and he's like telling them, "No, fix this shit. Like, don't spend all the wasted time going through all the other crap to get it done. Let's get it done." I get what they were trying to do there, but I do agree. Like I said, it just felt like everything was rushed. He didn't have to fight to become mayor. Like I really think this would have been, and maybe they
and like,
start
when
doing
did this mayor race happen? In December during Christmas? Like, what?
I don't know.
Because
through that. That's another truth.
right, because the guy was like, "Oh, you're not going to be in here not even a month. We're trying to get you out sooner." Because he said one of the mayors or whatever, got out in a month, and he's trying to get him out sooner. And I'm like, we were just in New Year's Eve. Like,
Yeah.
how short? When does this mayor race happen? At Christmas? Like, what?
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. When the mayor race happened, the screens in Times Square on the New Year's Eve scene did still say mayor elect. It's
Mhm,
unclear when he actually
mhm.
became the mayor.
Right.
But
I don't know.
that scene was after that New Year's Eve scene when he talked to the guy, right?
Yeah, because there was the
Uh-huh.
funeral.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah,
Another thing that,
go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. Another
No.
thing that seemed out of place to me was I'm pretty sure that's Tony Soprano's son.
It is. It's
it is.
Gandolfino.
Oh,
It's Michael Gandolfino.
yeah.
Gandolfino.
They trying to
The
do
fact-
they trying to do a collab here. They
yeah.
got so the soprano be like one of the guys in the background. Nah, but it's like I don't I get like everything what everybody's saying because I kind of felt that way. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I mean, I'll give both these episodes. I'll just go ahead and throw like a score out there. It's not going to be a very high score, but it does mean I like it. So when I do a 1 through 10, the closer to 10, the more I love it. Obviously, right? 5 is straight in the middle. I don't know what I feel like, and sometimes that's the worst score because if I hated it, at least I knew what I feel about it, and a 5's right dead in the middle. And I'd probably give like these 2 episodes so far like a 6, 6.5, something like that in that area, which
Yeah.
means I still like some of it, and I liked enough of it to like be on the better side of it, but I ain't that far on that side so far. There is, like I said, some issues, and maybe hopefully it's just them trying to set it up real quick, and then we get into some stuff because I think they to me an interesting idea would be like Fisk this whole season working to become mayor. And there's some things going in the background, and Daredevil's having to handle some of the stuff, and maybe they're kind of colliding with each other a little bit, that kind of situation where like things are happening, and uh, so we have this back and forth all the way through the season until finally he gets like control of the mayorship. But like I said, it's according to what they're going to do with the story, and I'm hoping they can pick it up the next few episodes.
Yeah. It just seemed weird to me that he was like listening to Michael Gandolfini's character because he was just some young kid, like seemed like an
Yeah.
intern, honestly.
Mhm.
And he's like, "I'm impressed with your ambition or whatever." Like I was like, "What?" His old concierge dude, they had a relationship, and he would listen to him, but now he's just listening to this kid because he's kissing his ass. Like I don't know, that
Mhm.
kind of bugged me.
Like the Fisk.
Yeah,
Yeah. I I don't know. It's just a lot of things are off, and I'm not really digging it. So I may be a little lower than Justin. The first episode
Nah,
is
man,
probably
that's
like
fine. Like I said, I
5.5
didn't.
for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree with anybody's score that's like lower than mine because, like I said, there's a bunch of like
So
small
what?
things that
Okay,
ends up adding up.
so I have a thing. When the guy fell out, when he threw him off the building, it seemed like his head was like pushed in, and then like when you see him, his head's like kind of like, was that me, or did that
I don't
happen?
know.
I didn't
I
notice
don't
it, but
know.
I don't mean that it
Because the
wasn't
guy
like that.
landed on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, like when he gets in a fight when the two cops come in
Hmm.
and he
Oh,
gets in a fight there with those two guys. At first, he's trying to be like, "I'm a lawyer, innocent. I don't know how to fight," and
yeah.
then he's forced to fight because they're about to shoot him. Uh, he like grabs one guy by like his necktie or
Oh,
shirt or whatever it was, and like slams his ass on the head. And I was like on the floor, and I'm like, "Bro, that's the problem. Is you're this person not wanting to kill somebody that literally should kill someone. That
it,
guy's neck should be
it kind
broke."
of almost seemed like they did. I'm like, he has to be dead. Like, there's no way that guy's still alive.
And I'm fine with Daredevil kind of like going to a thing to where, hey, sometimes you have to go to the Punisher level, right? We had the episodes with the Punisher. Over time, he like rethinks his philosophy, and instead of being just like the Punisher, who's obviously like, this guy's a bad guy, I'm killing them no matter what they did, they're bad, they're pieces of garbage, I'm taking them off the street. Then like Daredevil learns a little bit from that, and he's like, hey, to a certain point, sometimes deaths have to occur, like if they're bad enough. Like you
Mhm.
can look at these two cops as being so bad that they're willing to go in there and just kill someone like that, maybe to a level of that. But there's no like discovery with that. There's no journey with that. I feel like I'm kind of like cheaping because, like I said, another thing on this show could have been Daredevil fighting with that because, hey, like you said, he's fought these guys, and one of his biggest problems is because he doesn't take them out and kill them and put them out of the way, he ends up causing more harm to himself and other people get hurt because of it. So this could have been a cool like show where he really struggles with that for like most of the season, like having to go back and forth and making decisions on does it, should I kill him like to stop other bad things to happen? I don't know. But like I said, I'm trying not to hate because it's the first couple episodes and the story they're trying to tell may get better. They may find their legs, they may find their footing. I'm not going to totally trash it. I don't think it's that bad to be trashed automatically after 2 episodes, and hopefully it gets better, more coherent, and then like they tell a great story, and we just got to get there.
I have more.
Go ahead.
As I'm thinking more and more, the guy White Tiger, how they found his stuff so easily. Like,
Oh
Max,
yeah, wasn't it like underneath his
Daredevil.
bed or something?
Wait, yeah,
Yeah.
Daredevil's been Daredevil for multiple seasons, and nobody found him out. Even when he was in the hospital, not away. People been to his house. Like nobody seen the outfits when they were made. Like, and then all of a sudden you're like letting this stranger go into your bedroom to go get the suit, and you're like, it's on the bed. I would, after a minute, not even after 30 seconds, I'd be like, what are you doing in my room? Like,
The
Yeah.
I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't even let somebody that's not part of my
Now
household into
we
my bedroom. And
we
then the
didn't
guy
make it.
just freely has a box right there that conveniently he kicks
Yeah,
under the bed.
like that is a problem too. That's a good point. And then like I will say this too. Now this may be unfair because I haven't seen. Like I'm pretty sure White Tiger gets involved during like season 3 or something like that with some stuff. I'm gonna guess.
nope,
No,
nope.
bro, that dude's costume look goofy. Did anybody else think the
Yeah.
White Tiger costume looked goofy as shit? He looked like a
Oh
fucking
yeah.
he looked like a white Power Ranger. He looked
Yeah.
like the white Power Ranger.
But I do have to say to that actor, Camar de los Reyes, rest in peace. I love him. He's a very sweet guy. I've met him multiple times. And
Oh,
this
that is
is that's
he
the
did
guy, the
die,
White
didn't
Tiger. Yeah, he passed
he?
away.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
sucks.
of cancer. But he was a very sweet guy, and I loved his acting. I always love his acting and everything that I've seen him in.
I heard the news, but was he able to finish this season before that
I
happened?
think he
Or
did.
I think
okay,
he did.
yeah.
Because they
All
filmed
right.
it like 2 years ago.
They did film this a long time ago.
Because he died not this December, the December before he passed away. So this has been a while.
Yeah. We haven't seen the White Tiger suit in anything other than like cell phone footage right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to give it a pass for the moment until we see it.
No, yeah, you're
stop.
right. The only thing that we were able to see was them showing it from like a phone thing or something. So maybe that doesn't do it justice or whatever.
Yeah.
But first,
I also want to say, like, another thing I hate about that opening scene is that Matt takes off his mask, and then that guy Cherry, who I don't remember Cherry from season 3. Matt, is Cherry in season 3?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, so this guy that, to my knowledge, I've never seen before is having a retirement party, and then he just discovers Matt on the roof
Mm-hmm.
and is like, Matt? Like all these years of making sure that no one knew who he was, and then he just like, I
Was
don't
that
know.
supposed to be the cop that was at the?
Cherry was the cop they were having the retirement party for at
Yeah,
the
they had the
bar.
retirement for. But I wonder, was he the dude that was in the seasons? The sergeant or whatever.
No,
It's a different part.
that's not Brett. Like
No.
that's an entirely different person.
Hmm.
Like
yeah,
I don't know why we're not having Brett in this season.
Yeah,
Because
that
like
kind of confused me too.
I understand that for some of these things maybe actors didn't want to return or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but like here's the story on the creative differences. Not creative differences, but like they filmed the first 6 episodes of this season. They then had the work stoppage with the actors or the writers and
oh
actors
god,
strikes, and then Marvel Studios reviewed those 6 episodes that they'd shot so far and determined it wasn't working. They fired the head writers, they let go all the other directors that were going to work on it, and then they brought in Dario Scardapane, who worked on the Punisher series, to be the showrunner, and then they brought in Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, who directed parts of Moon Knight and Loki season 2, to sort of like fix this. They wrote a completely new pilot, and then they wrote new scenes to get inserted into the other episodes to make what work they could work out of it work. Which is why I'm willing to give them a little bit of time to like get to the part where they want it
yeah,
to be their vision. Because like I'm looking at the Wikipedia stuff. The second episode was written by the old head writers, so a lot of that, I'm assuming the old head writers wanted this to be a court procedural, and he wasn't going to be Daredevil, and he wasn't going to wear the suit until
you
like
can tell.
episode 4 and stuff like that. And you can tell.
Yeah, these first 2 episodes, which I'm fine with if you do that. Like I said before, watching the older stuff, I wish there was more courtroom stuff. Like I think it would be cool to have more of that involved in those episodes that we were watching, even on the Netflix series. But like, if I'm going to get that, I want to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want some really cool, like straight up, just really good acted like courtroom scenes, because I do like those if they do a good job. But like, we had Matt Murdock more being a lawyer, but we didn't get none of the courtroom stuff. You know, not a lot of it
Yeah.
anyway. Period.
Yeah.
So like, we wasn't getting that either. So yeah, I could definitely see what you're talking about. It did seem like a plan of like Matt Murdock. But here's another thing. Matt's kind of going into this thing to where he's not actually being Daredevil really at the moment, but we've already seen that in the Netflix series when he was going through a struggle. So it's like, it's not even anything new. Like, it would be cool if this was like a new, oh man, some bad shit happened. Daredevil's not being Daredevil now, so he's gonna, like, things are gonna happen. He's gonna have to fight through that, get his confidence back, whatever it is he needs to do, become Daredevil again to take care of the situation. But we kind of already got that in those first 2 seasons of the Netflix series, because there was a spot where he's like not wanting to be Daredevil anymore, like in between season 1 and season 2, right? He had to really come back to it and start doing it again because he was kind of forced to because of the hand and everything else, having all that stuff happen. So it's kind of like not even a new thing that you're doing, and if it's
Yeah.
new, it feels fresh and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally
And
agree.
like another thing from the original first 6 episodes of the series was that Karen and Foggy weren't in it. They were barely mentioned. So I think that episode 1, the beginning of episode 1 is them coming up with a way to be able to keep Karen and Foggy out of it, because and I don't like that choice.
Yeah,
Me neither.
because of what you just said, I actually think there's a good chance
Karen comes
that
back, I think.
around episode 6, around episode 7, somewhere time frame of that, Karen comes back, right?
I think there's a
And
chance, yeah.
I have a feeling that from what you were talking about, a lot of these first like maybe 4 or 5 episodes we get is going to be a lot of the old story they were trying to tell to begin with, but they add a couple of scenes here and there to make it a little more spicy or whatever, so that we get some things coming up. And maybe that does feel like some things are rushed because they're having to intermix these things.
Hmm.
I don't like doing that. Like if it was me, right, and I'm the leader of Marvel, and I see the first 6 episodes and don't like it, I scratch all that. I
Yeah.
know it's like money being wasted, but the thing here is like if this doesn't work, that's even more money being wasted because people may not like what's out there or what's there, and not really, because I was excited for the show from the trailers, but I'm going to tell you, first 2 episodes, like that excitement that I had, because the trailers did look like the old Netflix series. And that's what I was like, hell yeah, it looks like they've got people in charge that kind of felt and knew what Daredevil was supposed to be from the Netflix series. We're translating that over here to the Disney Plus in this new season. And then I'm excited for it. But then I see the first 2 episodes, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I don't know why they're doing the release schedule like they are. Maybe it is because it's running up against something else, so they're trying to like get a couple episodes out faster or whatever to be able to be in the time frame. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Um, I understand why they probably put these first 2 episodes out. It's probably just to get them out of there. Hey, we know these 2 episodes aren't strong. We're gonna go ahead and release them at the same time. Hopefully there's a good enough stuff in here that people, because like I said, I'm at the point to where I'm not trashing it, walking away from the series. Even if I wasn't doing it for the YouTube channel, I would give the 3rd episode at least a try. Now with the YouTube channel, no matter how good or bad it is, I'm probably going to keep going until the end of the series because we started this review. But if I gave the 3rd episode another chance and like it doesn't really get that better, I might have walked away from it being just a casual like normie, the word they like to call out there, like somebody that doesn't really keep track of everything and they just checking out the show, might walk away. Our fans of the old Daredevil, if it doesn't start to pick up and kind of get that feel to it, yeah,
Um,
can kind of see.
um, I almost gave up 15 minutes into the first episode.
No, you got mad.
Oh no, I got mad and I stopped watching. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, me and Matt was watching Auburn get beat tonight, and then
And go ahead.
I just heard her say like, "Oh crap," and then I turned it on just to get to the part she was talking about. I saw it, knew exactly why. Like I said, I'm
Because I
not as
wouldn't
mad
tell them
about what
until
happened
they
to
watched
Foggy.
it. I would not
I'm,
tell them until they watched it.
yeah, I'm not that bad or mad about what happened to Foggy.
With his
But
best friend. You killed his
right,
best friend off.
to me
A
that's
big
fine.
integral. No, it's not fine. It's a big integral part of him. No.
But I'm fine with that if
I'm
Karen
not.
would have been around the whole time.
I'm
If
not.
Karen wasn't gone
No.
as
I
well, then
still
I'm
wouldn't
like,
have been.
okay, their
I still
relationships
wouldn't
get
have been.
stronger.
I still wouldn't. Even if Karen was still there, I still wouldn't have been fine with it. I only kept watching because I knew Kamar was in one of the episodes, so I wanted to see him. It's the only reason why I kept watching. But this Daredevil, this episode so far, sucked donkey balls.
Donkey balls. Donkey balls. We're gonna have a donkey balls meter right here. How many donkey balls do we got going
I
on, baby? I'm excited now, baby. Hell yeah,
I
there we go. That's the Boston
I
brandy
was
I come to know.
I was also not happy after the first 15 minutes, but I'm I'm gonna watch all of it because I just am.
Yeah.
Um, I think the stuff that they're doing with Fisk will be more interesting once he starts getting back to the crime lord stuff as the mayor. Like we kind of saw him starting to hint at that when he was dealing with the police commissioner that was about to retire and resign, and he just sort of lifted up the wrapper of
Yeah.
the sandwich,
Oh,
and there was a photo of the family in Philly, and he, like, I'm guessing that that's a child the commissioner has hidden away in Philly, um
hmm
from based on what was said.
just outside
So
of Philly,
just outside of Philly
near
by
D'Angelo's.
D'Angelo's. Yeah.
Okay,
Um s-
for those don't know, it's a local sandwich shop. I guess around the eastern, because I know Dale, you don't have it. Justin don't have it. Matt
no.
definitely don't have it. I have it down the street.
But I think Fisk in these episodes was kind of boring because he's not doing the bad guy stuff. He's trying to do the right thing as the mayor, and like he's more interesting when he's doing the bad guy stuff.
And I will say this: I do think this is maybe I'll see like the numbers and stuff, and see like how many people's into this, and kind of get the feel of like what people thought about these first couple of episodes.
I
But
wonder
one
how
of the
many people
things,
rage quit after 15 minutes.
well, maybe, but like, well, I mean, a lot of people will be like, "Hey, I can see that happening." I think more people got mad not because like in that instant they were shocked, right? Like the whole Foggy
Mm-hmm.
thing, getting shot, killed right there, and all that stuff was like a shocking moment. But I actually think more people's going to be mad that that happened and Karen's not there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if Karen was still there, people would be like, okay, we still got this major character that's still close to Daredevil that's going to be there. Their relationship's going to be like stronger now as far as friendship or whatever. And then like she's just gone and they take her away too. And they're like, what the hell? Like, oh shit, like this sucks. Because he dies like in a shocking moment, but I don't think it really got built up. Like for a character, I like Foggy. For a character like Foggy, for me to sit here and have something happen to him like it occurred, I should be like maybe almost tearing up, having to suck a tear, from my cheek back into my eyeball. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't let tears hit my beard. Okay, it's like a rule. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it'll start to fall, and I suck it back in. Because I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have to do that because it was like a shocking thing, and there was no build up for it, and it was kind of like some
That's
smoke around.
another
Yeah,
thing that I have a problem with is that it happened too fast. We
yeah,
weren't able to really see and remember why it is we loved the three of them as a trio in the original series. We see like this one scene with like music over it where we can't really hear what they're talking about. They come out of their law office, Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige. We're like, oh, that's cool. Like they go to Josie's, there's a party going on. Foggy's at the bar. Matt and Karen are at the table. They're listening in on Foggy hitting on Kirsten. But like there's hardly any interaction between the three of them, and you don't have enough time to be like, oh yeah, this is why I loved Foggy so much before he's just gone. And like
Mhm.
I understand they wanted to start out with something shocking, but I actually think if they were going to do this, that's a better ending to episode 1 than the beginning, because
yeah.
then you could have a whole episode of everything else that's going on. Like maybe they discuss bringing Kirsten into their law firm, or whatever. Maybe there's someone else they deal with in episode 1 as a client, and you can do the lawyer stuff and all of that. Matt is being Daredevil, and then what happens at the end of the episode, I think would be a better structure for that episode.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, obviously Foggy's death is supposed to be shocking, but I just
Yeah.
feel like they gave us no time to remember why we liked Foggy before they killed him off.
No,
Did
yeah.
anybody else besides me want to rage quit out there? If you're listening, you got this far into the episode. Am I the only one? Am I the only one to stop
No,
after
I
that?
think some people's going to do that because I think there are problems. But like I said, I think people would have been a little more happy if Karen was around. At least you still have that relationship and stuff like that. But you have these like new characters. Doesn't seem like any of them's been built up too much or whatever to kind of come in and take that place. And we didn't get some of the things like if you would have had more of an episode or more of him in the season, maybe, or even in that episode, you maybe could have got the feelings and stuff like that, and then you would have had that tearjerker moment of him getting taken out, and then like the next episode, you have this whole episode of like Daredevil going after, you know, home dude, and then like Bullseye, and then that whole like his anger, and they had more of that involved. It just happened. All that stuff just happened way too fast and too quick. You really couldn't let it sink in. It's like, oh my god, home dude died. Like, but yeah, it it's just one of those things that's like
Well, well,
pretty
and
crazy.
they do the Foggy death, and then they immediately cut to a year later. We don't
Yeah,
get Foggy's funeral. We don't get anything like that, and
No,
I don't think that was right.
I
yeah,
thought we were getting the funeral when you see him in the window and thinking he's getting ready to go to Foggy's funeral and stuff. But then it says 1 year later. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I think Matt
Yeah,
and you all weren't there.
we're 1 year later. Matt's moved on to the different location. He
Mhm.
like I didn't expect him to be like in his same apartment, but he's left Hell's Kitchen. He's got this apartment in wherever he's living now. He's got the law firm with Kirsten. Like you're just sort of like shell shocked of what happened.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like because just for Karen to be nowhere until it's time to testify at Poindexter's Bullseye's sentencing, like it's just very weird to me.
Yeah,
Um,
it was.
about Foggy's death too. I don't see why Matt would have gotten that pissed when he died. Like, why didn't he start off that pissed? Because he shot him, like point blank
Mm-hmm.
almost.
Yeah,
Why didn't
Yeah.
he start off all pissed? Like, you shot my
yeah,
friend.
Yeah.
Instead, he waits till he dies, so that's when he's gonna, yell at him and then throw him off the
yeah.
roof.
That too. That bothered me too. I'm like, what? If I would have known that and you can hear that you shot his friend, I'm like, if you shot my best friend, I'm punching you harder.
Oh, that's why the
Right at that
Punisher.
moment.
That's why the Punisher's correct. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if he would have shot, we've all became friends over the years and has relationships or whatever. If some piece of shit went and took care of one of you guys, man, and especially if I had the capability or whatever, bro. Hey, that's a dead piece of shit. There ain't no question about it. There ain't no argument about it. It's time. Now I might not be as hardcore as the Punisher overall, like 100% of the time, but like there's a lot of the things that I'd be like Punisher. Some people just deserve uh when you're doing bad like you're doing horrible things, like get caught. Like one of my biggest things is like these days is like people take it too far, like in real life, where they're like making comments about people and even like uh doing death threats and stuff. It's like, oh, what the
Yeah.
crap are you people doing? Like, okay,
Yep.
I get it. You don't like these people, but like, why the hell are you taking it that far? So there's like that line to be drawn, but then there's like when you have the open and shut, like, oh my god, this person's pure evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do something here. This person's literally killing people. Like, and we know it. There's got to be something we do about that. And so I agree with Punisher most of the time. Like, when it comes to that stuff. But like I said, there's some things that you could have interesting in the story with Daredevil, like when he's trying to make those decisions. But like I said, it was just too fast.
Yeah.
And,
Plus,
and
it was
like,
awfully convenient that Fisk and his wife choose Daredevil's new girlfriend as their
Yeah,
therapist.
that
oh,
Like,
you
that
brought
was
up
way too
this.
convenient.
This will be my last thing. We'll go around and have last thoughts. But like my thing with like Fisk is I was about to say this earlier, but like somebody, I think it was Adelia that came up with a good point real quick, is that like what they did with Fisk in the the couple of shows before this kind of made Fisk like seem weak, Kingpin weak. And I really thought that in these first two episodes of this new season,
was a
they
little
needed
bit.
to like jump out and have him be strong, intimidating, and everything else. And I think they failed at that these first couple of, besides that one moment where he's like, besides the moment where he's in Daredevil and he's kind of holding his own there, besides that moment with the sandwich and him showing the picture that he found and everything else and being kind of intimidating in that moment, the rest of it, he was just kind of like almost too laid back. And then when he's even doing the therapist thing with Vanessa, it's like I don't know, man. It just didn't. I think they needed to like have Fisk come back with with something strong, like
Yeah.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of fix his character a little bit. I just don't think they did enough in these first two
Also, how
episodes.
did those people on the street during those BB reports? How did they know about Fisk slamming that dude's head in the car? I heard he slammed his head in the car. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did you hear about that shit? What? And then everyone's happy he's mayor. Like that would have got around. I think.
No, there's no way. He like blew up the city, like did all
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
crap. He was on live TV when the he was in the van, remember, and it was live on TV, and he escaped. And like, come on, like you people, no way he would have been mayor. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Um, I said it was going to be very interesting to see how they got to Fisk becoming mayor, and I'm not satisfied with how we got
Oh
there.
yeah, there wasn't
Oh,
enough there to be interested in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the problem. You could have told an interesting story how he started getting people's trust as as the show goes along, but you did it so quick. There's not even enough to even like people are going to have problems like Brandy and anybody else that watches it because they are going to be like, bro, like a lot of these people know his ass was like a crime lord.
yeah.
Like they just got to know some of that. He was in freaking jail and prison for it.
Mhm.
Like, and all that. So, how did you get to that point? I think there was a way you could have told it because he did come out to try to save the city. He could have said, hey, this was all like a setup crap. You could have built all that stuff into him, gaining the trust of more and more of the population of the city to get to the mayorship. But yeah, for you to do it in like the first couple of episodes, he's already the mayor and you don't even get a lot of meat to the bone there. It's like, bro, come on, man. It's like when you go and you like, damn, dog, I feel like wings, right? This happened to me like probably about a week and a half ago. I was like, man, I want some wings. So I got some wings from a place. Bruh,
They suck.
they sucked. Big old donkey balls, since Brandy already brought it up. Bro, they was like little teeny weeny, barely any meat on them. Like, bro, ain't nobody want that shit. You gotta have meat on the bone, and they just don't have enough meat on the bone, I don't think, in these first couple of episodes.
I would have believed Vanessa being mayor than over the Fisk.
That was another
Possibly.
thing about Vanessa. I
They
don't like
changed
that
her.
she's
Yeah.
running the criminal operation.
No, I don't like it
I don't
either.
like that.
And then she's mad that he's back and taking it over again, and she's like, "I built this," and I'm like,
I agree. I
"What?"
agree. Her character was super awesome to me because she was that gray moral
Mhm.
person, that she wanted to back Fisk. She believed Fisk wanted to make things better. So she was okay. Like the gray part of it was her being okay with him having to do what he had to do that job, right? And she would overlook it, like, okay, whatever. I know you got to do some bad things, but it's going to be overall a betterment of society, of our city, and all this stuff. So,
Mhm.
like that was a cool character, but now, like you said, like they kind of take that away from her. So that did to me. I'm not gonna lie, she like kind of dropped the ball too. Not as an actress. They got to do whatever they got to do. She's still the same person. So like she's obviously still like a good actress or whatever, but like when I say drop the ball, her character dropped the ball, not like particularly like the actor or actress,
Yeah.
but like
It's the writer's fault.
It's definitely a writing issue. I will say, one thing I am glad about for the rewrites is that they brought back the original actress for Vanessa. They were going to have a different actress play Vanessa in the series originally.
yeah, no, I'm definitely glad she's there, and it's funny because like they even joke about that first really long cold open for that first episode. There's even a nostalgia joke
Hmm.
between when the three of them were together for that short time. Somebody even talks about the nostalgia.
Mhm.
It's like you didn't give us enough, man. You didn't give
No,
us enough of this nostalgia. I don't think so.
they didn't, and I'm not happy.
You know what? You know what? After talking about it and stuff like that, like there was a couple of things that I liked. Like I said, the sit down at the table at the diner and stuff. But there is more that I have problems with. I'm going to the Brandy 5.5. Like I'm going barely over halfway right now.
Mhm.
Barely over halfway right now, man. Like Brandy brought the game tonight. She was like, hell no, she don't like donkey balls. All right, Adelia. Like final words.
I'm probably at a 6 on
I
these two
got you.
episodes. Like they're not as good as the original series, but I'm willing to give them time to sort of grow into what they actually want this series to be because of all the creative problems they had and the way they refigured everything. But yeah, just that first 15 minutes, I'll never watch it again. It was that upsetting to me.
Got you. Matt,
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'd give him a 6. I'm kind of disappointed, honestly. Like they had such a good story coming into it, that I don't know. Like I said, a lot of things were just off to me. Like all the daytime shoots, the music, characters acting out of place, kind of.
Some of the camera angles were off to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even like in the first fight, when it first started, and he threw that gas canister in there, and then they're
Mhm.
fighting in there. I'm like, why are they even showing them fighting? Like it's a bunch of smoke and shit. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I was pretty disappointed. I'll admit with the first two episodes. I'm gonna keep
I ain't
watching
gonna lie.
though.
I'm assuming Bullseye comes in season 3 in the Netflix series, which I'd be
Yeah.
He
excited
does.
for.
He does.
But I was right. But I am not hyped from what I saw from his ass in this.
Yeah.
Like, for to be honest with you. Now, Brandi, I think Brandi, you finished the last season, didn't you?
I'm halfway through the season.
So you get to see Daredevil in the old school Netflix. Like, was he a cool character? Like in that, was he set up better and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So like,
I
yeah, because
I
I
I'm
like Bullseye.
I'm
I think
watching the whole
Bullseye.
thing, so like everything's a blur to me. But yeah, no, he was much better than what this was.
Yeah. So like,
Mhm.
I'd be interested in going into because we're not gonna quit on the old school stuff because like, all we have to do we've all watched the second season, so we just got to get together and film the last couple episodes of season 2 that were left off on. We're gonna actually still be trying to do that as we go and get this whole Daredevil thing wrapped up and all that stuff. But yeah, not very excited about it. Doesn't seem like the panel is very excited right now. Hopefully that changes in the next couple of weeks as we move on to the next few episodes.
I won't hold my breath.
Won't
I
hold.
won't my breath.
You know what?
I really do hope it turns around and gets better, though. I
The way
do.
you said it, though, Delia, like we're gonna wait till episode 7 and it's almost done to see if it gets a little bit better.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
don't know. I don't know that we necessarily are going to have to wait that long, but I don't know how much. I don't know how much of those 6 episodes that they shot they actually used.
Mm.
But all
We'll
right,
see.
guys, if you're out there, please like, please comment, do your thing, hit that alert, whatever they got over there. Also, join the Ko-Fi thing. We'll have a description down in below to join that. You can join us. You can even join us while we're talking about this series. Like uh, Matt is joining us right now, and Brandi and everything else, and join us and like talk about these shows. We have fun doing them. Hey, guys. If you're disappointed, it's a lot easier and a lot more fun when you're disappointed with others and you're not by yourself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We all get to like have our therapy session and stuff whenever we watch something, and maybe it's not the greatest thing in the world, which makes it a lot easier and a lot better. Because I ain't gonna lie, if I wasn't doing YouTube and I wasn't grading this, I don't know how I might not even would watch like the next episode right when it came out. I'd probably like wait and like give it a day or two, or I definitely wouldn't be in a rush, you know,
Wait,
to
did
be able.
Matt give it its score?
He
Yeah, I
said
said
6.
6.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I dropped down naturally to like a 5.5 because there was a couple of things that all you guys brought up that actually is I agree that was problems I didn't notice right off the bat or whatnot. So like I agree with it. Like there was more issues than I even thought, and I thought there was a few issues with it. I mean, matter of fact, we've been almost talking for an hour, and most of it, besides me saying one positive thing, and I think Adelia said like one positive thing, maybe two. Not a huge positive. Like there was a bunch of stuff in here that was like okay level, like nothing super great. That was like, oh yeah, boy. There was shit like in the old series that was like,
Yeah,
man, can't wait
episode
to
2
talk.
of the whole series had the hallway scene. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, like you can't wait to talk to somebody about it after you see something like that, right? You just had those things, and so far this show doesn't have that thing. Not saying it can't, but it hasn't got it yet.
This is Adelia's fault. She hyped it up for me.
Wow,
Not
bam.
not this season.
No, not
Yeah,
this season. She hyped up Daredevil, and she's like,
Because
"No, you gotta watch
Daredevil
it."
is
And then
amazing.
wait, and then the first one was the guy getting his head slammed in the door, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I just watch?
hey, hey, when you watch these two episodes, you wish you can go back to head jelly again.
No, I don't want the
No.
head jelly, but I would rather have more of those episodes than. And I do have some of those more. I'm gonna go back so I can go back and watch the rest of my season 3. I have all week to wash my brain of these first 2 episodes of Born Again.
All
Oh,
right. Well, with that being said, guys, until next time, you ready to hit that button, Adelia?
Mm-hmm.
Till next time, guys. You know, maybe it's not good to be born again. Just be happy.